I haven't been allowed to drive alone since I was 16. Not because I'm a bad driver. I've never even had the chance to prove that one way or another. It's because I'm sick. Always have been, always will be, according to my parents. At least, that's what I believed until 3 weeks ago. My name is Rachel, and I'm 28 years old. I should probably mention that up front, since most people assume I'm much younger when they see me shuffling into yet another doctor's office, clutching my mother's arm like some fragile china doll. Rachel, honey, remember what Dr. Peterson said about your iron levels? Mum says, as she parks outside the medical building. Her voice has that practiced concern that sounds so genuine. Other people always comment on what a devoted mother she is. I nod obediently. I've been nodding obediently my entire life. The waiting room smells like disinfectant and desperation. I've spent more time in places like this than most people spend at their jobs. Which is ironic, considering I barely get to keep any money from the jobs I do manage to hold down. Every paycheck goes toward your treatments, sweetheart, Dad always reminds me when I ask about my finances. We're just grateful we can afford to take care of you. Meanwhile, my younger sister Paisley just got back from her 3rd trip to Europe this year. She posted about it constantly on Instagram. Designer bags, 5-star hotels, champagne brunches, all funded by my parents. Careful budgeting, apparently. Rachel Martin, a nurse, calls my name. This appointment is different, though. It's not one of my usual specialists. The cardiologist, the endocrinologist, the haematologist who's been monitoring my condition for over a decade. This is just a routine physical for a new temp job I managed to land. Basic requirement, nothing fancy. Dr. Newman is younger than my usual doctors, maybe mid-40s with kind eyes behind wire-rimmed glasses. He doesn't have that weary look I'm used to seeing when medical professionals flip through my thick file of ailments. So, Rachel, tell me about your current symptoms, he says, settling into his chair across from me. I launch into my well-rehearsed list. Chronic fatigue, irregular heartbeat, low blood pressure, anemia, possible autoimmune issues. Hold on. He holds up a hand, frowning at his computer screen. I'm looking at your recent labs from Dr. Peterson's office, and I'm not seeing any of these markers. My stomach does a little flip. What do you mean? Your blood work from last month shows normal iron levels, normal white cell count, normal everything. He clicks through several screens. Actually, these results are quite good, better than most people your age. I feel like the room is tilting slightly. But I've been anemic since I was 12. According to what? The question hangs in the air. I realise I don't actually know. I've never seen the test results myself. Mum always handles all the medical paperwork, says it's too stressful for me to worry about. My parents, they've always managed my medical care. Dr. Newman's expression grows more concerned. Rachel, I'd like to run a full panel today, just to be thorough. Is that okay with you? I want to say yes, but I can hear Mum's voice in my head. Never let doctors run unnecessary tests, honey. They're just trying to make money off our situation. I should probably check with my parents first. You're 28 years old, he says gently. You don't need anyone's permission for medical care. The words hit me like a physical blow. When was the last time someone reminded me I was an adult? When was the last time I made any decision about my own body? Okay, I whisper, let's do the tests. As the nurse draws my blood, I think about Paisley's latest Instagram story. She's at some trendy restaurant downtown, the kind of place that costs more for one meal than I make in a week. The caption reads, "Celebrating my promotion. You're blessed, you poire's living my best life." Paisley works part-time at a boutique. I work full-time as an administrative assistant when my health allows it. Yet somehow she's the one celebrating promotions and European vacations. Dr. Newman returns with a clipboard. Results should be ready by tomorrow afternoon. I'll call you directly. Don't you usually call the emergency contact? I ask. My parents are listed. Only if you're a minor or incapacitated. You're neither. He hands me a card with his direct number. Rachel, can I ask you something? When was the last time you felt truly healthy? Not just okay, but actually energetic and strong. I open my mouth to say never, but then I remember last week. I'd been alone in the house for a few hours while my parents ran errands. I'd felt normal, good even. I'd cleaned the entire kitchen, reorganised my closet, and still had energy left over. But when they came home and saw me moving around so much, Mum immediately started fussing about me overdoing it. "I'm not sure," I tell him honestly. He nods like he expected that answer. "I'll call you tomorrow." Walking to the car, I feel different somehow, like something has shifted, even though I can't put my finger on what. Mum is waiting in the driver's seat, scrolling through her phone. "How did it go, honey? Did Dr. Newman understand your condition?" "He ran some tests," I say carefully. "What kind of tests? I should have gone in with you. You know how you get confused about medical terminology. For the first time in my life, I don't apologise for potentially misunderstanding something. Instead, I just buckle my seatbelt and stare out the window. My phone buzzes with a text from Paisley. "Family dinner Sunday. Mum's making your favourite soup since you've been looking so pale lately." I've been looking pale my entire life, according to them. But sitting here now, I catch my reflection in the side mirror. My cheeks actually have colour. My eyes look brighter than I remember. Dr. Newman said he'd call tomorrow, 24 hours to find out if everything I've believed about myself is true, or if it's all been a lie. The call comes at 2:17 p.m. while I'm filing insurance claims at work. I almost don't answer because Mum always says phone calls during work hours are unprofessional, but something makes me pick up. "Rachel, this is Dr. Newman. Do you have a few minutes to talk privately?" My heart starts racing. "Is it bad news?" "Actually, it's good news, very good news. Your blood work is perfect. Everything, iron, vitamins, thyroid function, immune markers, all completely normal. In fact, you're healthier than most people I see." The filing cabinet suddenly feels like it's supporting my entire weight. That can't be right. "I've run the test twice to be sure. Rachel, I need to ask you something, and I want you to think carefully. Who diagnosed you with anemia and these other conditions?" "Dr. Peterson. He's been my doctor since I was 12. I called Dr. Peterson's office this morning. He retired 8 years ago. The practice has no record of treating you for any chronic conditions. The room starts spinning. But I have all the paperwork. My parents have files full of test results and treatment plans. Can you bring those files in? I'd like to take a look. I hang up and stare at my computer screen, but the numbers blur together. Harrison, my desk mate, rolls his chair over. "You okay? You look like you've seen a ghost." Harrison's been working here longer than me, and he's one of the few people who doesn't treat me like I'm made of glass. Maybe because he doesn't know my whole medical history. "Can I ask you something weird?" I say. "Do you remember when I applied for that supervisor position last year?" "Yeah, you would have been perfect for it. I was surprised when they said you weren't eligible." "What exactly did they say?" He frowns. "Something about your medical restrictions. HR said your emergency contacts had provided documentation about your limitations." He pauses. "Why?" "My emergency contacts?" "Your parents, right? They're listed as your primary contacts in the system. I feel sick, but not the kind of sick I've been told I am my whole life. This is different. This is the sick feeling you get when reality starts crumbling around you. Harrison, can you help me with something? I need to see my HR file." "That's against policy." "Please, I think something's really wrong." He studies my face for a long moment, then glances around the office. "Come on, Jennifer's at lunch. The HR office is empty." Harrison pulls up my file on Jennifer's computer while I keep watch at the door. "Here's the medical documentation," he says, scrolling through. "Submitted by..." He stops. "This is weird. It's not from a doctor. It's a letter from your parents stating that you have multiple chronic conditions that prevent you from working more than part-time or taking on stressful responsibilities." "Let me see that." The letter is typed on plain paper, signed by Mum and Dad. No medical letterhead, no doctor's signature, no official diagnosis codes, just their word that I'm too sick to advance in my career. "Rachel, this isn't how medical accommodations work," Harrison says quietly. "There should be official documentation from your physician." I take a picture of the letter with my phone. "Can you print this?" I shouldn't. Harrison, I think my parents have been lying to me about being sick for 16 years. His eyes widen. That's insane. Why would they do that? I don't know yet. He prints the letter and hands it to me. What are you going to do? I need to see those medical files at home. The drive home feels eternal. I keep thinking about all the times I've been too tired to go out with co-workers, too weak to travel, too fragile for a real relationship. How many opportunities have I missed because I believed I was dying? The house is empty when I get there. Mum's at her book club, Dad's at work, and Paisleys probably shopping with money that should be mine. I head straight to the filing cabinet in Dad's office. The medical folder is thick, just like I remembered, but now I'm looking at it with different eyes. I spread everything across the desk and start reading. The first thing I notice is the signatures. Dr. Peterson's signature looks different on various documents. Sometimes it's neat cursive, sometimes it's messy print. I pull out my phone and search for Dr. Peterson retired. The obituary comes up immediately. Dr. Peterson died 9 years ago. 9 years ago, and I have test results from him dated last year. My hands are shaking as I flip through more papers, prescription bottles with labels that look homemade, lab results with no official letterhead, treatment plans that reference conditions I can't even pronounce. Rachel, honey, what are you doing? I spin around. Mum is standing in the doorway still holding her purse. I was looking for my birth certificate, I lie. In the medical files? Her voice has an edge I've never heard before. I got confused. The folders all look the same. She walks over and starts gathering the papers. You know you're not supposed to stress yourself with medical paperwork. That's why Dad and I handle everything. Mum, when was the last time you actually spoke to Dr. Peterson? She freezes for just a second. What kind of question is that? He's dead. He died 9 years ago. The silence stretches between us like a chasm. Mum's face goes through several expressions, surprise, calculation, then that familiar concerned mask. Oh, honey, you're confused. We switched to Dr. Martinez after Dr. Peterson retired. Remember? Your condition makes it hard to keep track of these things sometimes. But I'm not confused anymore. For the first time in my life, I'm seeing clearly. I want to see Dr. Martinez's contact information. Rachel, you're getting worked up. This isn't good for your heart. My heart is fine. My blood work is perfect. I'm not sick, am I? The question hangs in the air like a bomb waiting to explode. Mum's smile never wavers, but something cold flickers in her eyes. Of course you're sick, sweetheart. You've always been our special girl who needs extra care. But I'm done being special. I'm done being sick. I'm done being their lie. 3 days later, I'm pretending to be asleep when Dad comes home from work. Through my cracked bedroom door, I watch him head straight to his office. This is my chance. I've been planning this moment since the confrontation with Mum. She's been watching me like a hawk, but tonight she's at Paisley's apartment helping her redecorate. More like buying her new furniture with money that should be mine. Dad's office door is open. I can hear him shuffling papers, probably paying bills. I creep down the hallway and peek inside. Hey, Dad, can I borrow your laptop? Mine's acting up. He looks up, startled. Of course, honey, but shouldn't you be resting? Your mother said you seemed agitated earlier. Just need to check my work email real quick. He slides the laptop across his desk. Don't strain your eyes. You know how screen time affects your migraines. I don't get migraines. I never have. But I nod and take the laptop to the kitchen table where I can see him coming. His banking website is still logged in. My heart pounds as I scroll through months of transactions. Most of it looks normal. Mortgage, utilities, groceries. But then I see them. Regular transfers labelled Medical Rachel going to an account I don't recognise. $2,800 last month. $3,200 the month before. Going back years. I screenshot everything and email it to myself, then dig deeper. The receiving account belongs to something called PM Trust Fund. I search the account number and find more transfers. This money is being moved again, into investment accounts and savings. Rachel, what are you doing? I slam the laptop shut. Dad standing in the kitchen doorway. Just checking email like I said. You look upset. Are you feeling all right? I'm fine, Dad. Actually, I have a question. What's PM Trust Fund? His face goes completely white. Where did you hear that name? I saw it on some paperwork. Is it related to my medical expenses? Rachel, you shouldn't be looking at financial documents. You know numbers confuse you. Numbers don't confuse me. I work in accounting, remember? Part-time, he says quickly, because of your limitations. What limitations? I feel fine. I've always felt fine. Honey, you're getting worked up. Let me call your mother. Don't call Mum. Talk to me. What is PM Trust Fund? He sits down heavily at the kitchen table. For a moment he looks older than his 52 years. It's a college fund for Paisley. Funded with my medical expenses? It's not that simple. Then make it simple. He rubs his face with both hands. Your mother handles the finances. I just do what she says is best for the family. Best for the family or best for Paisley? Rachel, you have to understand. Paisley has opportunities. She's going places. She needs what? My money? It's not your money. It's family money. We've spent so much on your care over the years, and Paisley never complained about the sacrifices. What sacrifices? What care? I'm not sick. The words explode out of me louder than I intended. Dad flinches like I've hit him. Of course you're sick. You've always been delicate. Since you were little, you've needed... I've needed what? What exactly have I needed? He opens his mouth, then closes it. Opens it again. Special attention, monitoring. Your mother knows best about these things. Mum's not a doctor. She's your mother. She knows you better than anyone. I pull out my phone and show him the screenshot of Dr. Peterson's obituary. Dr. Peterson died 9 years ago. Who's been treating me? Dad stares at the screen for a long time. There must be some mistake. The only mistake is believing you and Mom for 28 years. I hear a car in the driveway. Mum's home early. Rachel, please don't upset your mother with this nonsense. You know how she worries about you. She worries about getting caught. The front door opens. Jean! Rachel! I'm home! Mum appears in the kitchen doorway, takes one look at our faces, and her expression hardens. What's going on here? Rachel's been looking at financial documents, Dad says quietly. I thought we agreed she wasn't supposed to stress herself with adult responsibilities. I'm 28 years old. I stand up so fast my chair scrapes against the floor. I'm not a child and I'm not sick. Lower your voice, Mum says sharply. The neighbours will hear. Good, maybe they should hear. Rachel, go to your room, now. No. The word hangs in the air like I've just declared war. Mum's face goes through a series of expressions. Shock, anger, then something calculating. You're having an episode. This is exactly why we need to monitor your condition so carefully. What condition? Name it. Give me a specific diagnosis. You have multiple conditions that require... Name one, with a medical code, from a real doctor. Mum and Dad exchange a look. It's quick, but I catch it. The look of two people whose story is falling apart. I think, Mum says slowly, we need to schedule an appointment with Dr. Martinez first thing tomorrow. Great idea. What's his number? Another look between them. I'll have to look it up, Mum says. You'll have to make it up, you mean? Rachel Marie, that's enough. You're clearly having some kind of breakdown. The only thing breaking down is your lie. I grab my phone and head for the stairs. I'm going to my room, but not because you told me to, because I need to make some phone calls. Who are you calling? Dad asks. I turn back to look at them both. They're standing close together now, united against me like they always have been. People who can help me figure out where 16 years of my paychecks actually went. Mum's face goes pale. Rachel, you're family. We would never. You already did. I climb the stairs and lock my bedroom door behind me. My hands are shaking as I pull up my work friend Summer's number. She answers on the second ring. Hey, what's up? Summer, I need help. I think my parents have been stealing from me for years and I don't know what to do. What? Rachel, slow down. What's happening? Can you come over? I need someone to help me make sense of some financial documents. I'll be there in 20 minutes. Park down the street. And Summer, bring your laptop. I think we're going to need to do some research. After I hang up, I sit on my bed and stare at the door. For the first time in my life, I've locked my parents out. It feels like freedom. Summer arrives with her laptop and a box of donuts. She's the kind of friend who brings comfort food to crisis situations without being asked. Okay, show me what you found, she says, settling cross-legged on my bedroom floor. I spread out the bank statements and screenshots across my carpet. Look at these transfers. Every month for years, money labelled Medical Rachel goes to this PM trust fund. Summer pulls up a banking website on her laptop. PM? Paisley Martin? That's what I'm thinking. Rachel, this is insane. How much money are we talking about? I pull out my calculator. Based on what I can see here, at least $200,000 over the past 6 years alone. Holy shit! Summer stares at the numbers. That's like a house down payment, multiple house down payments, or European vacations, designer clothes, and a brand new BMW. Wait, Paisley drives a BMW? Got it for her birthday last year. Mum said they'd been saving up. Summer starts typing furiously. I'm looking up financial abuse lawyers. This is fraud, Rachel, like serious criminal fraud. A knock on my door interrupts us. Rachel, can we talk? It's Mom. I'm busy. Honey, I think there's been a misunderstanding. Your father and I want to clear things up. Summer raises her eyebrows and mouths don't. I'm not ready to talk yet, I call back. We're family, sweetheart. We can work this out together. Like we worked out my medical care? Silence. Then footsteps retreating down the hall. Summer turns her laptop toward me. Found one, Mia Crawford. She specialises in family financial abuse. 5-star reviews, and look at this testimonial. Helped me recover $150,000 stolen by my own mother. Should I call her? Hell yes, you should call her. I dial the number with shaking fingers. It goes to voicemail, but I leave a detailed message explaining my situation. Now what? I ask. Now we document everything, screenshot every bank statement, every fake medical record, every lie they've told. Summer opens a new document on her laptop. We're building a case. We work for 2 hours, organising evidence and researching. Summer finds articles about medical abuse, financial exploitation, and something called factitious disorder imposed on another. Listen to this, she says, reading from her screen. Caregivers deliberately produce or fake symptoms in their dependents to gain attention, sympathy, or financial benefit. Rachel, this is exactly what your parents did to you. My phone rings. Unknown number. This is Mia Crawford returning your call. Can you talk? Yes, absolutely. I've been practicing family law for 12 years, and your situation sounds like one of the most comprehensive cases of financial abuse I've encountered. Can you come in tomorrow morning? I'd like to review your documentation. I'll be there. After I hang up, Summer grins at me. You're really doing this. I'm terrified. Good. You should be. This is huge. She closes her laptop. But Rachel, you deserve to know the truth. You deserve your money back, and you deserve to live your own life. The next morning, I tell my parents I have a doctor's appointment. It's not technically a lie. I'm going to see someone who might help heal 16 years of damage. Mia Crawford's office is in a sleek downtown building. She's younger than I expected, maybe mid-30s, with sharp eyes and a firm handshake. Show me what you've got, she says without preamble. I spread my evidence across her conference table. Bank statements, fake medical records, screenshots, the HR documentation Harrison helped me find. Mia examines everything methodically, occasionally making notes. After 20 minutes, she looks up. Rachel, this is one of the most well-documented cases of financial abuse I've seen. Your parents have been systematically stealing from you while convincing you that you were too sick to manage your own life. Can we prove it? We can more than prove it. We can prosecute it. She pulls out a legal pad. I'm going to recommend we bring in a forensic accountant to trace every dollar. Then we're going to calculate damages. Not just the stolen money, but lost opportunities, emotional distress, punitive damages. How much are we talking about? Based on what I see here, potentially $500,000 or more. The number hits me like a physical blow. $500,000? 16 years of stolen wages, fraudulent medical expenses, lost career advancement, interest and penalties. Your parents didn't just steal your money, Rachel. They stole your entire adult life. What happens next? First, we document everything with my forensic accountant. Then we confront your parents with a demand letter. If they don't cooperate, we file both civil and criminal charges. Criminal? Wire fraud, identity theft, financial exploitation of a vulnerable adult. Your parents could face serious jail time. I sit back in my chair, overwhelmed. I just wanted my money back. You'll get your money back, but more importantly, you'll get justice. Mia leans forward. Rachel, I need you to understand something. This isn't just about money. Your parents committed serious crimes against you. They stole your health, your independence, your future. That has consequences. What if they're my family? Family doesn't do this to each other. What they did to you is evil. The word hangs in the air. Evil. I've never thought of my parents as evil, just controlling, overprotective. But looking at the evidence spread across this table, I see it clearly now. They've been destroying my life for their own benefit. When do we start? I ask. Mia smiles. We already have. I'm calling my forensic accountant right now. His name is Ezra, and he's going to help us follow every dollar your parents stole. She picks up her phone. Ezra, it's Mia. I need you to clear your schedule. I've got a case that's going to make you very angry. As she talks, I stare out the window at the city below. Somewhere out there, my parents are probably planning Paisleys' next shopping trip with my money, but not for much longer. Ezra can see us this afternoon, Mia says after hanging up. Are you ready to find out exactly how much your parents owe you? I think about all the years I've been too sick to live my own life. All the opportunities I've missed, the dreams I've abandoned, the future I've been denied. I'm ready. Good, because by the time we're done, your parents are going to wish they'd never heard the word medical expenses. Ezra's office looks like a crime scene investigation unit. 3 monitors, stacks of financial documents, and a whiteboard covered in numbers and arrows connecting different accounts. Your parents are sophisticated, he says, pointing to a flowchart he's created. They didn't just steal your money, they laundered it through multiple accounts to hide the trail. Mia leans forward. Show her the timeline. Ezra pulls up a spreadsheet. It started when you were 12, small amounts at first, $200 here, $300 there, labelled as medical copays. But look what happens when you turn 18. The numbers jump dramatically. $2,000, $3,500, $4,200 per month. That's when you started working full-time, Mia explains. They ramped up the theft to match your increased income. How much total? I ask. So far, I've traced $847,000. The room spins. $800,000? And I'm not done yet. This is just what I found in the first day. Ezra clicks to another screen. Look at this. Every time you got a raise or a bonus, your medical expenses mysteriously increased by the same amount. They were monitoring my paychecks. More than that, they were in contact with your HR department, claiming to manage your medical accommodations. They knew exactly how much you made before you did. Mia slides a folder across the table. We pulled your employment records from every job you've had. Your parents submitted medical restrictions to each employer, limiting your hours, preventing promotions, blocking overtime opportunities. I flip through the documents. Letter after letter, all signed by my parents, all claiming I was too sick for normal work responsibilities. The Harrison promotion you mentioned? You were the top candidate, but your parents submitted a letter saying the stress would be dangerous for your heart condition. I don't have a heart condition. No, but they convinced your employer you did. You lost out on a $15,000 salary increase. My phone buzzes. Text from Mum. Honey, where are you? You missed your afternoon rest time. Call me. I show the message to Mia. They're still trying to control me. Not for much longer. She pulls out a thick legal document. This is a cease and desist letter. It demands they stop all financial access to your accounts and return every stolen dollar within 30 days. What if they refuse? Then we file criminal charges and a civil lawsuit simultaneously. Ezra turns his monitor toward me. I've also found evidence of insurance fraud. They've been filing false medical claims in your name for years. Insurance fraud is a federal crime, Mia adds. Your parents could face up to 20 years in prison. My phone rings. Mum again. Answer it, Mia says, but put it on speaker. We need to document their behaviour. I answer reluctantly. Hi, Mum. Rachel, where are you? I've been worried sick. You know you're not supposed to be out this long without supervision. Mia raises her eyebrows and starts recording on her phone. I'm fine, Mum. I'm just running errands. What kind of errands? You should have asked me first. What if you have an episode? What kind of episode? You know, one of your spells. Your blood sugar drops, you get confused. Remember what happened last month? I don't remember anything happening last month, but I play along. I feel fine. That's what you always say right before you collapse. Come home immediately. I'm making your special soup. Actually, I might be late. I'm meeting with some people about work. Work people? Rachel, you know you can't handle workplace stress. Remember what Dr. Martinez said about your anxiety disorder? Mia scribbles a note. There is no Dr. Martinez. Which Dr. Martinez? I ask. Your Dr. Martinez. Don't be silly, honey. You're getting confused again. This is exactly why you need to come home. Mum, can you give me Dr. Martinez's phone number? I want to schedule a follow-up. Long pause. I'll have to look it up. Just come home, sweetheart. Dad's worried too. She hangs up. Mia stops recording. Perfect, she says. She just admitted on tape that you have an anxiety disorder and blood sugar issues that cause confusion and collapse. All conditions that don't exist in your medical records. She also referenced a doctor who doesn't exist, Ezra adds. This recording alone is evidence of ongoing fraud. My phone buzzes again. This time it's Paisley. Mum says you're acting weird. Everything okay? I stare at the message. My sister, the one who's been living off my stolen money for years. Does Paisley know? I ask Mia. That's what we need to find out. She's either a victim or an accomplice. How do we figure that out? We ask her. Mia pulls out another phone. I'm going to have an investigator approach her. Casual conversation, see what she reveals. What if she warns my parents? Then we'll know she's complicit. I text Paisley back. Just tired, work stuff. Can we talk later? She responds immediately. Sure. Want to grab coffee tomorrow? I have news. What kind of news? I'm buying a condo. Finally found the perfect place. Mum and Dad are helping with the down payment. My blood runs cold. How much? $50,000. They're so generous. Said it's an early inheritance. I show the messages to Mia and Ezra. They exchange grim looks. She knows, Mia says quietly. No one gets a $50,000 early inheritance without asking questions. So my whole family is in on it? It looks that way. I stare at Paisley's messages. My little sister, who I've always protected, who I've always made excuses for. She's been spending my stolen money on designer clothes and European vacations while I've been trapped in a prison of fake illness. What happens to her? That depends on how deep her involvement goes. If she just spent the money without knowing where it came from, she might only face civil liability. But if she actively participated in the fraud, she could go to prison too. Yes. I think about all the times Paisley has complained about my special treatment, how she's always been jealous of the attention my illness brought me. She knew exactly what was happening. I want to confront her first, before we serve the papers. Rachel, that's not advisable. She could warn your parents, destroy evidence. She's still my sister. I want to give her one chance to do the right thing. Mia sighs. If you're determined to do this, we do it my way. Controlled environment, everything recorded, and you follow my script exactly. Okay. And Rachel? After tomorrow, there's no going back. Once we serve those papers, your family will never forgive you. I look at the evidence spread across the table. $800,000, 16 years of lies, a lifetime of stolen opportunities. They never loved me anyway. They loved what I could give them. Then let's make sure they give it back. Ezra prints out a summary of his findings. Take this home, study it. Tomorrow, when you talk to your sister, you'll know exactly how much she's cost you. I fold the papers and put them in my purse. Tomorrow, I'm going to find out if I have any family left worth saving, but I'm not holding my breath. I meet Paisley at her favourite coffee shop downtown. She's already there when I arrive, scrolling through her phone and sipping a $7 latte. Her designer purse sits on the table, the one she bought in Paris last month. You look different, she says as I sit down. Less pale. I've been feeling better lately. That's great. Mum was worried you were having another episode yesterday. I pull out my phone and start recording, keeping it hidden under a napkin. Mia's instructions echo in my head. Let her talk. Don't accuse. Just gather information. Tell me about the condo, I say. Her face lights up. It's perfect. 2 bedrooms, granite countertops, downtown view. The seller accepted my offer yesterday. $50,000 down payment is a lot. I know, right? I'm so lucky Mum and Dad have been saving for my future. She takes another sip of her latte. They said it's better to invest in real estate than leave money sitting around. What money? You know, the family savings. Dad's always been good with investments. Paisley, where do you think that money comes from? She shrugs. Dad's job, Mum's part-time work, careful budgeting. They've always been smart about money. Mum works part-time at a gift shop. Dad's a middle manager. How do you think they saved $50,000? I don't know, Rachel. I don't worry about their finances. She looks annoyed. Why are you being weird about this? Because I think that money came from me. What do you mean? I pull out one of Ezra's financial summaries and slide it across the table. This shows money transfers from my medical expenses going into your trust fund. Paisley glances at the paper, then pushes it back. I don't understand financial stuff. It's not complicated. Every month my paychecks go to pay for medical treatments I don't need. That money gets transferred to your accounts. That's crazy, Rachel. You've been sick your whole life. Have I? When's the last time you saw me actually sick? She opens her mouth, then closes it. You're always tired. Because I work full-time while you work part-time and live like a millionaire. I work hard too. 20 hours a week at a boutique isn't hard work, Paisley. Her face flushes. Just because you're jealous of my lifestyle doesn't mean... Jealous? I've been paying for your lifestyle. The coffee shop goes quiet. Other customers are staring. Paisley looks around nervously. Lower your voice, she hisses. Why? Embarrassed that people might find out the truth? What truth? You're having some kind of breakdown. I pull out my phone and show her Dr. Newman's test results. I'm not sick. I never was. Mum and Dad have been lying to me for 16 years. Paisley stares at the screen. For the first time, she looks uncertain. That can't be right. It's completely right, and you know it. I don't know anything. Paisley, you've lived with me your whole life. Have you ever seen me take medication? Have you ever seen me have a medical emergency? Have you ever seen me actually sick? She's quiet for a long moment. You always seemed fragile. Because that's what they told you to think. Rachel, even if you're not as sick as we thought, that doesn't mean Mum and Dad stole from you. They've always taken care of you. They've taken care of themselves, and you. I show her another document. This is your college tuition, paid for with transfers from my medical fund, your car payments, your credit cards, your European vacations, all paid for with money stolen from me. Paisley's hands start shaking. I didn't know. Didn't know or didn't want to know. I didn't ask where the money came from, but you spent it anyway. They're my parents. I trusted them. They're my parents too, and they've been destroying my life to fund yours. Tears start running down her face. What do you want me to do? I can't give back trips I already took. You can tell the truth. You can admit what's been happening. And then what? We all go to prison? You might not go to prison if you cooperate, but Mom and Dad, they're going down either way. Paisley wipes her eyes with a napkin. How much money are we talking about? Almost $1 million. She goes completely white. $1 million? 847,000 so far. My lawyer's forensic accountant is still counting. Your lawyer? Mia Crawford. She specialises in family financial abuse. You hired a lawyer? Against your own family? My family hired a lawyer against me 16 years ago. They just didn't tell me. Paisley stares at the financial documents spread across our table. What happens now? Tomorrow we're serving Mum and Dad with a cease and desist letter. They have 30 days to return every dollar, or we file criminal charges. Criminal charges? Wire fraud, insurance fraud, financial exploitation. They could get 20 years. Rachel, please, they're our parents. Our parents are criminals. She starts crying harder. What about me? What about my condo? What about my life? What about the 16 years I lost believing I was dying? I never meant for this to happen. But you knew something was wrong. You had to know. She nods slowly. Sometimes I wondered how they could afford so much for me when you were supposedly so expensive to take care of, but I didn't want to ask questions. Because you liked the money. Because I was scared of the answer. I leaned forward. Paisley, I'm going to give you one chance, one opportunity to do the right thing. What do you mean? Help me. Testify about what you knew when you knew it. Help me prove what they did. I can't testify against Mum and Dad. Then you're choosing them over me. It's not that simple. It's exactly that simple. Either you're a victim who got manipulated, or you're an accomplice who helped steal from your sister. She stares at me for a long time. What if I help you? What happens to me? You pay back what you can, you testify truthfully, and maybe you avoid prison. And if I don't, then you go down with them. Paisley closes her eyes. When she opens them, they're filled with tears. I need time to think. You have until tomorrow morning. That's when we serve the papers. I stand up and gather my documents. Paisley, for what it's worth, I'm sorry it came to this. Are you really going to destroy our family over money? I'm not destroying anything. I'm just stopping them from destroying me. I walk away, leaving her sitting alone with her $7 latte and her guilty conscience. My phone buzzes as I reach my car. Text from Mia. How did it go? I text back. She knows. She's always known. Then she made her choice. Are you ready for tomorrow? I look back through the coffee shop window. Paisley is still sitting at our table staring at the financial documents. I'm ready. Tomorrow my parents get their bill. I walk up to my parents' front door at exactly 10 a.m. carrying a manila envelope thick enough to choke on. Mia is parked across the street in her car, recording everything through the window. Ezra sits beside her with a camera. I don't knock. I use my key and walk straight into the living room where Mom and Dad are having their morning coffee. Rachel, Mum jumps up. You scared us. Why didn't you knock? Because this is still my house too, at least until you finish stealing everything from me. Dad sets down his coffee cup. Honey, what's wrong? You seem agitated. I place the envelope on their coffee table. It lands with a satisfying thud. What's that? Mum asks. Your bill. Dad reaches for the envelope, but I put my hand on it. Before you open that, I want you both to know that I know everything. The fake medical records, the stolen paychecks, the insurance fraud, all of it. Mum's face goes pale. Rachel, I don't know what you think you've discovered, but I discovered that Dr. Peterson died 9 years ago. I discovered that you've stolen almost $1 million from me. I discovered that you've been filing false insurance claims in my name. That's ridiculous, Dad says, but his voice shakes. Is it? Then explain this. I pull out my phone and play the recording from yesterday's call. Mom's voice fills the room. Remember what Dr. Martinez said about your anxiety disorder? Who is Dr. Martinez, Mom? He's the doctor who... He doesn't exist, just like my anxiety disorder, just like my anemia, just like every condition you've ever claimed I have. Dad stands up. Rachel, you're clearly having some kind of episode. Let us call Dr. Call who, Dad? Call which fake doctor? Mum sits down heavily. You don't understand. We did this for you. You did this to me. We protected you. We kept you safe. You kept me prisoner so you could steal my money. It wasn't stealing, Dad's voice cracks. It was family money. We used it for family expenses. Family expenses like Paisley's BMW, her European vacations, her $50,000 condo down payment. Mum and Dad exchange a look. The same look I've seen my whole life when they think I'm too stupid to notice. How do you know about the condo? Mum asks quietly. Because I'm not the confused, sick little girl you pretended I was. I'm a grown woman who hired a lawyer and a forensic accountant. I slide the envelope toward them. Open it. Dad's hands shake as he tears it open. He pulls out the cease and desist letter, the financial analysis, and a detailed breakdown of every stolen dollar. $847,000, I say. That's what you owe me, plus interest, plus punitive damages, plus my legal fees. Mum starts crying. We never meant to hurt you. You meant to control me. You meant to steal from me. You meant to destroy my life so you could fund Paisleys. Paisley needed opportunities. I needed opportunities. I needed a life. I needed parents who didn't lie to me every single day. Dad looks up from the papers. What do you want from us? I want every dollar back. I want you to admit what you did, and I want you to face the consequences. We can't pay this back, Mum whispers. We don't have this kind of money. Then you'll sell the house, you'll liquidate your retirement accounts, you'll get second jobs, you'll do whatever it takes. Rachel, please, we're your parents. Real parents don't do this to their children. The front door opens. Paisley walks in, looking like she hasn't slept. I heard shouting, she says quietly. Perfect timing, I say. Tell them what you told me yesterday. Paisley looks between our parents and me. I don't know what you want me to say. Tell them you knew the money came from me. I didn't know for sure. Tell them you knew I wasn't really sick. I thought maybe you weren't as sick as... Tell them the truth, Paisley. She starts crying. I knew something was wrong. I knew you weren't really sick. I knew the money had to come from somewhere. Mum gasps. Paisley, how could I? What? How could I not ask questions when you bought me a car worth more than Rachel makes in a year? How could I not wonder why my sick sister works full-time while I work part-time and live like a princess? Dad slumps in his chair. This is all falling apart. It fell apart 16 years ago when you decided to destroy your daughter's life for money. I pull out another document. This is a criminal complaint. Wire fraud, insurance fraud, financial exploitation of a vulnerable adult. I'm filing it Monday morning unless you agree to full restitution. We need time, Mum starts. You've had 16 years. You have 30 days to return my money or you go to prison. What about Paisley? Dad asks. I look at my sister. That depends on whether she cooperates with the investigation or continues lying to protect you. Paisley wipes her eyes. What do you need me to do? Tell the truth, all of it. When you first suspected I wasn't sick, when you realised where your money was coming from, everything. And if I do that, then maybe you avoid prison. Maybe you just have to pay back what you can and live with the guilt. Mum stands up suddenly. I won't let you destroy this family. I'm not destroying anything. I'm just stopping you from destroying me. You ungrateful little... Careful, Mum. My lawyer is recording this conversation from across the street. Mum looks out the window and sees Mia's car. Her face crumbles. 30 days, I repeat. Full restitution or criminal charges, your choice. I walk toward the door, then turn back. Oh, and I'm moving out today. I've already found an apartment, a real apartment paid for with my own money where I can live my own life. Rachel, please, Dad starts. Save it. You've said enough lies for one lifetime. I walk out of the house where I've been a prisoner for 28 years. Mia gets out of her car as I approach. How do you feel? I look back at the house. Through the window, I can see my family arguing, probably trying to figure out how to spin this into my fault. Free, I say. For the first time in my life, I feel free. Good, because now the real work begins. I get in her car and we drive away. In the rearview mirror, I watch my childhood home disappear. I never want to see it again. The courthouse steps are slippery from morning rain, but I walk up them steadily in my new heels. Real heels, bought with my own money from my own bank account. Behind me, Harrison carries a box of evidence while Summer holds an umbrella over both of us. You ready for this? Mia asks as we reach the entrance. I've been ready for 28 years. Inside, the courtroom is packed. Local news crews line the back row. Financial abuse cases involving fake medical conditions apparently make good television. My parents sit at the defendant's table with their court-appointed lawyer, looking smaller than I've ever seen them. Paisley sits in the gallery, alone. She's wearing a simple black dress instead of her usual designer clothes. The condo deal fell through when the bank discovered the down payment came from fraudulent sources. Judge Harrison calls the case. People versus Margaret and Jean Martin. Charges of wire fraud, insurance fraud and financial exploitation. The prosecutor stands. Your Honour, the defendants systematically defrauded their own daughter for 16 years, stealing over $847,000 while convincing her she was gravely ill. How do the defendants plead? My parents' lawyer stands slowly. Guilty, Your Honour, to all charges. A murmur runs through the courtroom. I feel Summer squeeze my hand. Ms. Martin, the judge addresses me, would you like to make a victim impact statement? I stand and walk to the podium. My parents won't look at me. Your Honour, for 16 years I believed I was dying. I gave up dreams, relationships and opportunities because I thought I was too sick to live a normal life. I worked full-time but lived like a dependent child because every dollar I earned went to fake medical treatments. Mum starts crying quietly. I lost my 20s to this lie. I lost my independence, my confidence and my trust in the people who were supposed to love me most. But I didn't lose my life, and I didn't lose my future. I'm 28 years old. I'm completely healthy, and I'm finally free to live on my own terms. I turn to look at my parents directly. I hope you get the help you need, but I also hope you understand that actions have consequences, even when family is involved. I sit back down. The judge reviews the sentencing recommendations. Margaret Martin, you are sentenced to 4 years in federal prison, followed by 3 years supervised probation. Jean Martin, you receive the same sentence. You are both ordered to pay full restitution of $847,000 plus interest and legal fees, totaling $1.2 million. Dad collapses in his chair. Mum's crying turns to sobbing. Furthermore, both defendants are permanently banned from accessing any financial accounts, insurance policies, or medical records belonging to the victim. The gavel falls. It's over. Outside the courthouse, reporters shout questions. Mia handles them while I walk to my car with Harrison and Summer. Drinks? Summer suggests. We should celebrate. Actually, I have somewhere else to be. I drive across town to Riverside Elementary, where I've volunteered to speak to a group of social workers about recognising medical abuse in families. It's part of my new life, using my experience to help other people who might be trapped like I was. The presentation goes well. Afterward, a young social worker approaches me. Thank you for sharing your story. I have a case that sounds similar. A teenage girl whose parents claim she has multiple chronic conditions, but something feels off. Trust your instincts, I tell her, and document everything. My phone buzzes as I'm leaving. Text from an unknown number. This is Paisley. I know you probably don't want to hear from me, but I wanted you to know I testified truthfully at the sentencing hearing. I'm getting counselling and trying to figure out how to make things right. I don't expect forgiveness, but I'm sorry for all of it. I stare at the message for a long time, then type back, "Thank you for telling the truth. That's a start." I don't send anything else. Maybe someday we'll be able to rebuild some kind of relationship, but not today. Today is about moving forward. My apartment is small, but it's mine. 1 bedroom, a tiny kitchen, and a living room with windows that actually open. No one monitors my comings and goings. No one questions my energy levels or suggests I need rest. No one steals my mail or controls my bank account. Harrison knocks on my door at 7 with takeout from my favourite Thai restaurant. "How does it feel?" he asks as we eat on my couch. "Weird. Good weird, but weird." I twirl noodles around my fork. I keep waiting for someone to tell me I can't do something because of my health. And now? Now I can do anything I want. My laptop chimes with an email notification. It's from Mia. "Restitution payment number 1 received, $47,000. House sale proceeds, more to follow." I show Harrison the email. They're actually paying. Of course they are, they don't have a choice. My phone rings. Dr. Newman's office. "Ms. Martin, your annual physical results are in. Everything looks perfect. Blood pressure, cholesterol, all your levels are excellent." "Thank you." I have to ask, how are you adjusting to everything? "Better than I expected. It turns out being healthy is pretty great." He laughs. "I imagine so. Take care of yourself." After Harrison leaves, I sit on my couch with a cup of tea and my laptop. I've been thinking about starting a blog, sharing my story, connecting with other survivors of family financial abuse, maybe helping people recognise the signs before they lose 16 years like I did. I open a new document and start typing. My name is Rachel, and until 6 months ago I thought I was dying. I wasn't. I was just being robbed. The words flow easily. For the first time in my life, I'm telling my own story in my own words. Outside my window, the city lights twinkle. Somewhere out there, my parents are beginning their prison sentences. Somewhere else, Paisley is figuring out how to live without stolen money. But I'm here, in my own apartment, healthy and free, and finally in control of my own life. I keep writing until midnight, then save the document and close my laptop. Tomorrow I'll edit it, maybe publish it, maybe help someone else who's trapped in a web of lies disguised as love. Tonight, I'm just going to sleep peacefully in my own bed, in my own home, with my own future stretching out ahead of me. Healthy at last, in every way that matters.